9.5 FM on Facebook Live stream and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Ganga FM, Jirapa, KTU Radio Cape Coast, Glenham Radio, Bato, and Gaskia FM Techiman. Go digital on Spotify and the MyJoy online app. Coming up this afternoon, heavy security in Boku in the Upper East region following gruesome shooting which left at least 3 persons dead. This afternoon, we hear from residents who are afraid to step out of their homes for fear of resurgence of violence.
My plan is to get another location and go. Living in Boku has now become like carrying your death certificate and roaming.
When you look at what is happening in Boku as at now, Boku looks very, very scary, and then it's like a ghost town.
Well, we have an update on a regional security meeting which is underway there. Also, Public Utilities Regulatory Commission gives assurances so any further adjustments leading to the announcement of new tariffs will be transparent, inclusive and participatory. We'll take you shortly to an event underway here in Accra where the regulator is engaging stakeholders on the matter.
Very economically and effectively, it's 0.09048 dollar per kilowatt hour, which we are pleading with the Commission to consider giving to us in this.
Meanwhile, former VRA boss Charles Rekubrobe is asking Ghanaians to prepare to pay more in the coming days.
They must be prepared to pay more. Otherwise, you see, if you do not pay more and the utilities make losses, one day the lights will go off and never come back.
Well, stay with us. We'll bring you details. And Ghana and Togo will begin the construction of 50 pillars to indicate the boundary lines between the two countries. How does this development sit within the ECOWAS integration process? We'll speak to the coordinator of the Ghana Boundary Commission. Also, Koforidua Secondary Technical School bids St. Martin's SHS and 3 other schools to qualify for the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz. The students say they are determined to lift this year's trophy.
You can never take the tech out of it. So this time we stand for the best and we are bringing the trophy to the Eastern region.
Mary Mama.
Well, stay with us for the latest as we have details as St. Rosie's faces competition from Buakwa State College and 2 other schools later today. This and more is coming your way here on the Midday News. Also in sports.
You must do more to attract sponsorship for the development of athletics in Ghana. GMPC General Manager for Sustainability, Kwame Banuako tells Ghana Athletics Association. We have details in 20 minutes.
I am Blessed Sogah. Thanks for choosing us. Joy News, independent, fearless, and credible. Well, this afternoon, there's heavy security in Boku in the Upper East region following the gruesome shooting, which has left at least 3 persons dead. It's unclear what has triggered the latest attack, but the situation has led to some residents fleeing the town, whilst others remain indoors. We'll hear from the police in the area on what's been done to prevent further violence. First, my colleague Samuel Mbura has been following recent happenings in the town and joins me in studio with the latest. Samuel, so what's the reaction that we're getting from residents on this latest attack?
So, Blessed, the residents are worried and scared of moving outside their homes due to the unpredictable nature of the security situation in Boku. Workers do not go to work. Traders, for the fear of being attacked, are also not going to the market. School children are also confined at home by parents. We do know that schools reopened, that was on Monday. So the township has been deserted like a ghost town, and some are even contemplating on relocating, since living in Boku is now like roaming with a death certificate, as they say. They are also claiming that there is an unofficial review of curfew hours. It used to be 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., but now reviewed to 4 p.m. to 6 a.m. Therefore, they have been forced to go to bed early.
My colleague Samuel Mbura there. We can now speak to the Public Relations Officer for the Police Service in the Upper East Region, ASP David Ochri-Fianco. But first, here are some residents of Boku expressing their fear.
When you look at what is happening in Boku as at now, Boku looks very, very scary, and then it's like a ghost town because people have not been able to get to their workplaces. They are afraid. Me, myself, I'm a worker, but since yesterday I have not been able to go to work. I'm indoors. So you realize that it is a very serious problem that we are having in Boku. Of course, it is not only workers, but if you look at school children too, all school children are at home.
We all want peace, yes. Everybody wants peace. The vulnerable, the old ladies, the women, the school children, the aged, everybody wants peace. Currently, what is happening in town is very, very scary. As I speak, my plan is to get another location and go, because it is becoming too difficult for me as a person. You just once you hear that this person is dead, another second you hear that this person has been wounded, another second you hear that this incident has happened, and you don't know who is next. What it means is that living in Boku has now become like carrying your death certificate and roaming. It's very, very, very disturbing. I am totally not myself as I.
Well, fortunately, ASP David Oltrefianco is still with us. Good afternoon to you, sir. Welcome to the Midday News. First of all, what's the situation in Boku as you're picking up from your men on the ground?
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. What I can tell you as of now is that the security situation in Boku remains calm as I speak to you. The fact is that the entire Upper East region remains one of the peaceful regions in the country. And if you came to the Upper East region, as I speak to you, you realize that the entire region remains peaceful. Boku has also been peaceful, though there is a conflict there we have been managing. However, the last 3 days we had an issue where there was an sporadic firing of weapons and indiscriminate one as well. The police and military moved in to ensure we contain the situation. So far, that is what we have been able to do. If anyone lives anywhere outside the Upper East region or Boku division and feels that the place is not secured or is not peaceful, I will not take that entirely. The fact is that it's not as if Boku is a ghost town as we speak. We all know there is a conflict situation in the area which we have been managing. But from time to time, depending upon when the issue raised its ugly head, we tackle that. We were keeping a curfew situation from 8 to 5. But due to the current situation, it has been reviewed, and now the police and military are enforcing the curfew laws from
but let's
4 p.m. to 6 a.m. as we have it. And people are so far complying. We are doing everything to ensure we restore Boku to the peaceful situation for people to go about their normal duties. So what we have now is just a temporary situation. I can assure you the Upper East Regional Police Command, together with our military counterparts, are doing everything possible to ensure peace is restored to that.
Right. But ASP, there are also concerns about the number of people who've been shot dead. Are you able to confirm the numbers? We have 3 from our sources.
Yes, you are right by that number. Since the incident started, we have been called to various locations where 3 people have been picked. 2 were still at the hospital for autopsy. One was confirmed dead by doctors. Meanwhile, we have made some arrests. We are putting this. One thing I want to draw attention to has to do with the partnership with the people of the town, the Boku people themselves. If they want peace, the peace will come. So it's time that once they want to go about their normal duties, they should ensure that they do things that will bring peace. We have been engaging them, stakeholder engagement, and other operational methods that we have, including cordon and search. Yeah, we have been doing that. So what we expect from the public, especially the law-abiding ones, is to provide us with information.
Okay.
Because the sporadic shootings happens in communities.
Right. We're grateful for your time. That's ASP David Autry Fianco, who's the PRO for the police in the Upper East region. We'll bring you some updates later on. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC, is giving assurances that any further adjustments leading to the announcements of new tariffs will be transparent, inclusive, and participatory. The statement comes in the wake of the demand for an upward adjustment by utility service providers. For instance, the Electricity Company of Ghana is asking for a 148% hike, as it argues such a rate will help it deliver efficiently. PURC is currently engaging all stakeholders on the matter here in Accra. Hamis Yusuf, who is representing GNPC at the ongoing event, says PURC must come up with the adequate adjustments to meet their contemporary demands.
Amount of time, we were only taking free gas and nobody was paying for it. And so the sector became almost accustomed to free gas, but that should have come to an end much longer or much earlier. We have kind of allowed it to linger up to this time. We have, because we have the Jubilee gas still coming in for free. But like I said, that is ending this year. And so any opportunity we have for free gas is not going to be available anymore. And so we should be ready to pay, not only to pay for gas, but to pay for gas at the right price. And our appeal to PURC is to take the full costs and recognize those costs. Of course, where there are excesses, those excesses should be taken out, but the actual cost should be made to stay. And in line with this, therefore, we are requesting that PURC, you've got the program to be reviewing or adjusting your tariffs quarterly. And our request is that this should be adhered to, and then to ensure that all the changes in the course of the year are reflected.
Well, so that's Hamis Yusuf. He represents GNPC. Meanwhile, Chief Analyst at the Ghana Institute for Public Policy Options and former VRA boss Dr. Charles Rekubrobe is emphatic that there is an urgent need for an upward adjustment in tariffs. He warns lack of realistic tariffs and government's failure to plan will lead to doomsday.
They must be prepared to pay more. Otherwise, you see, if you do not pay more and the utilities make losses, one day the lights will go off and never come back because the machine is conked out and there are no spare parts to repair it. Or therefore, what would you have? Live in darkness or pay for it? Right. But they should be prepared to pay more, and they should be prepared to hold the power authorities to account in terms of the reliability of supply and to make sure they do, and the quality of supply. Thing about power capacity that doesn't take a day.
Well, the head of our energy desk here at Joy News, Raymond Aqua, has been monitoring the event here in Accra with PRC and some other stakeholders. Raymond, what more demands are the utility groups making? Raymond, if you can hear me, I'm asking about the demands the utility groups are making.
So the main issues here are we need these increases, we need these proper tariff adjustments to make sure that we run effectively. But there's been some pushback. For example, civil society groupings from ASEP through to the others, including academics, have been suggesting that there is a general discussion required about efficiency and the standards that will be operating. But we should know that the section we are dealing with currently is the gas sector. They'll move on to the other sectors, but that generated some controversy. Luckily, I have the CEO of Ghana Gas, Dr. Bernard Santos, here with me. He has been trying to put in proper perspective the issues surrounding efficiency, especially in the gas sector. Doc, you're welcome. You did give some response, and that response was straight to the point, that it's mostly misconstrued when it comes to efficiency in the gas sector. Exactly what's the main point of this argument?
Absolutely. So we want to compare really the transmission of electricity with respect to efficiency as opposed to the transmission of gas. Now, when it comes to the transmission of electricity, certainly we've enumerated losses pertaining to both commercial and technical. The technical losses are systemic, so it has to do with the system that you operate in. And the commercial losses, you can enumerate them, theft and some unaccounted for electricity and all that. When it comes to gas, though, what you put in is what you get out. In other words, there are no losses in the transmission of gas from one point to another. And I want to repeat that for emphasis. There are no losses in terms of the molecules of gas when you put in at one end and it comes at the other end. However, you certainly could improve in terms of the efficiency. Now, efficiency in gas transmission has to do with how much fuel you use in your compression to drive the gas from one point to another. And that adds to your O&M cost. That's not as significant, really, as what you see in the transmission of electrons. So that is the difference. With gas, you don't have any losses, but inefficiencies are reflected in terms of O&M cost in the compression that you use, the compressor fuel. That is where you have some losses. And if you improve on your transmission efficiency, you would be able to cut down on the fuel that you use.
Well, my colleague Raymond Aqua engaging some reps of the Ghana Gas. Well, VRA has also been making a case for an upward adjustment. Peter Osei Ejay represents the Volta River Authority.
Performance project, we realize that we may spend somewhere around 37 million Ghana cedis, and then the 10.6 million that I mentioned earlier on for the reverse osmosis. And this expansion project also costs somewhere around $410 million. Now let's look at some of our strategic. These are very important issues that affects our operation, and it's going to affect us on a long run. So we realize that T1 plant has been there for over 20 years, but the asset utilization has not. We are now nearing 50% of it. And we feel PURC should consider maintaining the capacity charge so that we can recoup the investment cost for that plant. Ameri plant, we have brought this forth because the proposal is from now to 2027. And we feel that we should let PURC know that even if Ameri is not able to run by the end of 2022, we still need to discuss this because we may need some tariff. We will come back to it whenever maybe the project is completed. There are some few issues around it, and we still want to mention to the Commission that they need to consider Ameri's dispatch. We have done our competitions already, and we realize that the tariff to make us operate that plant very economically and effectively is $0.09048 per kilowatt hour, which we are pleading with the Commission to consider giving to us in this proposal. Now let's look at the tariff.
Well, so that's Peter Osei Ejay representing the Volta River Authority. Now, the Ghana and Togo as countries will begin the construction of 50 pillars to indicate the boundary line between the two countries. The pillars will run from Aplao to Akano on the Ghana side from Lome to Ngwepe on the Togo side as well. Now, the two countries reached a consensus on the boundary lines following a long-standing uncertainty over whether two countries terminate. So why the need for the pillars when the two countries are part of a sub-regional grouping seeking economic integration? More on that as we speak to the head of the Boundary Commission. First, here's a report by Fred Kwame Asare in Aplao.
Pillars were first erected on the international boundary lines of Ghana and Togo in 1929 and later in 1975. However, human and natural activities have eroded most of the pillars erected on the international boundary lines. In line with this, both countries saw the need to reaffirm the international boundary lines to clearly indicate the land borders, help security officials identify their limits, prevent land encroachment, among others. A joint land boundary reaffirmation technical committee has thus been instituted tasked to undertake the reaffirmation exercise. As part of the exercise, the committee would undertake sensitization programs in Ghana and Togo, launch and supervise the construction of 50 international boundary pillars from Aflao to Akanu in Ghana and from Lome to Nuepe in Togo. Speaking at the sensitization program in Aflao, the German ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Donald Kroll, detailed that the GIZ Africa Union border program supported the exercise with the sole aim of preventing conflict.
And so for us, our engagement, our assistance to this program of the African Union and to this program that will start here today, it is about conflict prevention. We want to help to make life easier in border regions.
The national coordinator of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Major General Emmanuel Kotia, detailed that all kinds of international pillars would be erected.
And it has to mention and clarify that what we are doing is reaffirmation. We are not coming in to redemarcate our boundaries. The first pillar is a singular one that is going to be like a monument. It's going to be pillar 1. That is going to be between Aflao and Lome, and it's not very far from this guy.
The Joint Land Boundary Reaffirmation Technical Committee would undertake the construction of the 50 international pillars between 12 and 28 May 2022. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News.
And you're still on the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Our top story, heavy security in Boko in the Upper East region following gruesome shooting which left at least 3 persons dead. But still to come. We'll tell you more as Kufurido Secondary Technical School beats St. Martin's SHS and 3 other schools to qualify for the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz. The students say they are determined to lift this year's trophy.
We can never take Tech out of it. So this time we stand for the best and we are bringing the trophy to the Eastern region.
Mary Mama!
And it's time now for sports. Muftau Nabila is here with the latest.
Blessed, over the years, there have been questions surrounding Ghana's ability to develop sports in the country. And many have said most federations are unable to secure sponsorship to ensure the development of their disciplines. Well, Kwame Baniako, who is the sustainability manager of GMPC, has been speaking. He has advised the Ghana Athletics Association to do more.
If you put a program together and you go to corporate Ghana and say, look, we need to send our athletes. If you give us so much money, this is how it's going to support these athletes. And the returns to you as a company. Maybe if the athletes are warming up for events, they wear your T-shirt or whatever. There has to be something for corporate Ghana. You can't just ask corporate Ghana, which has, the manager responsible for advertising and everything, has a CEO he has to report, he has to convince. That CEO has a board that he has to convince that the money that is being spent is being spent for a good purpose and that the organization will get a return. So it's not just like saying it already, we are calling corporate Ghana to come and support. That corporate Ghana will put their money. Trust me, the MTNs and all those things, they are looking for opportunities to make return. But somebody needs to put a proposal together, go to them, convince them. We all need to convince it because I also have a board that I need to convince. And my board has a board that he needs to convince. And even my board has to convince Parliament because GMPC's work program goes through Parliament for approval. So we need to be sure of what we are doing with the money. And I think Power and his group will have to do a bit more than they have done so far. I think they are on the right course, but they need to up their game.
They need to up their game. That is Kwame Baniako, who is the Sustainability General Manager for GNPC. Blessed.
Well, thanks, Muftar. Moving on, a human rights advocate, Dr. Abena Asumaning Entry, is reiterating the need for the country to consider non-custodial sentencing for persons who commit minor crimes, basing a stance on the congestion in the country's prisons, coupled with government's inability to adequately cater for the inmates. Dr. Entry noted women do not pose any risk when punished without being put behind bars. She spoke on the Super Morning Show.
Non-custodial sentencing has been begging to be made priority in the judicial system for a long time. I advocate particularly for women because it provides opportunity to serve sentences without being cut off from family, and that is key to every woman. Yes, it's not good enough that they've committed offenses, but to be taken away from your family, and some of them have children who, when the mother is physically taken out and put in prison, has a negative effect on the socialization of the children. When the woman is allowed to serve their sentence in the environment of home or the society, they are not cut off from their economic ventures. So they are able to still take care of themselves, particularly if they are in trade or, yes, in a little kind of service, and they are dependent. So the economic aspect is, for me, very, very compelling a reason to consider non-custodial sentence.
So that's a human rights advocate, Dr. Abena Asumaning Entry. Also contributing to the discussion was private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu, who noted the country's prisons hardens criminals instead of reforming them, reason why there's a need for prison reforms.
Some of them, having lived there for so long that in the prison conditions, they become hardened criminals. That's been the number one danger when you keep these accused persons or convicts there for so long. Because you see that, let's say that sometimes maybe the person stole, and look, if you come into working life in the industry, you find a lot of people steal day in, day out. Some are even ruling out and all that. They've not gone to prison. So theft is so common in our society. So the point is that when the one who is convicted, he is not been lucky, so he gets convicted and is sent to prison. If you send him for so long away, it's going to harden, because in the harsh conditions, you see, hardening a person is not always about this bad influence, okay, peer pressure in the prisons. No, but the very hard conditions also harden the person.
Martin Kpebu is a private legal practitioner. Now time for the National Science and Maths Quiz. And students of the Koforidua Secondary Technical School say they are determined to lift the 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz Trophy after they beat St. Martin's Senior High School, St. Thomas, St. Paul's and Bepon Senior High School to qualify for the National Championship. There was wild jubilation at the Nat Hall, with some of the students singing and dancing back to their school, which is a short distance away from the quiz auditorium. Maxwell Agbagba has the rest of the story from the Eastern region.
Their last major outing was in the NSMQ 2021. They were kicked out at the preliminary stages by Sogah Senior High School. Today, they beat St. Martin's, SHS, and 3 other schools to qualify for the National Championship later this year. These overjoyed students of Koforidua Tech tell me they are going back to their school to continue with their celebration, but they want to speak to journalists first before they move to their school, which is just about 5 minutes walk from the Nat Hall, where the regional championship is taking place. You're the head boy? Head boy?
Yes, please.
Okay, what's your name?
Please, my name is Sepenu Clifford. Last year we were expecting that we would go far, but then our people couldn't make it.
So and then, Senior High School kicked you out?
Yes, please. Yes, please. And then this time around, I think that we are really prepared for the nationals. I think any school, we are really, let me say, we want to take the trophy and then bring it back to Koforidua, the Eastern region.
What's your name?
My name is Oscar, the Assistant Chief Prefect of Sector.
What should we expect at the national?
Actually, you should. There is nothing more you should expect than the best from Koforidua Sector. And when it comes to champions, you can never take Sectec out of it. So this time we stand for the best and we are bringing the trophy to the Eastern region. That's the best.
Ya prepare ya kwajiaba kofoja Sectec. Mary mama. Ya jini nyina. The Sectec boys go. Send them hora. The Sectec boys go.
And congratulations to KSTS. But that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra. Kumasi, it's on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. Our top story this hour: heavy security in Boko in the Upper East region following gruesome shooting, which has left at least 3 persons dead. But in the meantime, you can log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. We have a number of stories trending there. 3 dead in renewed shootings in Boko as well. And also, social media users praise taxi driver for returning a fishmonger's 8,000 Ghana cedis. You might want to check out all of that story and more at myjoyonline.com. My name is Blessed Sogah. Apologies as well for not hearing from the Ghana Boundaries Commission on the ongoing demarcation between Ghana and neighboring Republic of Togo.